Okay, welcome to Cambodia. You're watching Tom Trips Out. My name's Tom. This is my trip out. We're just in my neighborhood now. We're walking over to a new restaurant. Just popped up like a month ago. And it's barbecue and soup. So it's like a grill on your table. And you grill things on it. And the outer ring of it is like a soup broth. And it's collecting all the juices. And you throw stuff in there too, like more vegetables. And we'll see, I'll show you. And I'm in the Russian market area in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I've lived here for like 3.5 years. I'm from Toronto, Canada. And if you have any questions, just put them in the chat. Hey, Israel. Good to see you. I feel like it's been a little while since I've caught you live, or you've caught me live. Fresh fish. Yeah, we're gonna have a nice lunch and we can talk about living here and how to be a teacher and all that. And I'm moving to Kampot in about a month. And next weekend my band is going for like 5 days. So while we're there, we're going to Kampot. So I'm gonna look at houses while we're there. But that'll be an opportunity for more content too, right? Hey, way deep inside. I actually planned to go to this place earlier. It was like an hour ago. And they weren't quite open, so I'm hoping they're open now. What's up? Seeing people I know on the road here. So yeah, I hope they're opened. When I walked by like an hour ago, like the door was open just a little bit and they were, yeah, they're not open. Dang it. Well, we'll keep this live going, but I'll have to change the title from barbecue. That's where I wanted to go. The door was like half open an hour ago and they were, looks like, I thought, it was maybe 11:30 and I thought, they probably open at noon because it looked like they were just opening that door and kind of just walking in and I'm like, okay, I'll go back home and I'll come back in an hour, let them set up. Now it's all not open yet. But because they're brand new, sometimes they do less hours when you're a brand new restaurant. Like you'll only open at like 5 p.m. So they're not just open all day. Well, Israel, I was gonna go to this barbecue place and it's closed. That's what the whole live stream was revolving around, going to this restaurant. This one right here. I haven't even eaten today. I guess we could just go to the deck. It's really hot out and I don't want to walk around in the sun, and the deck's right here. It's right across from the deck if you want. That's what I was gonna, yeah. This place is not even on Google either, this barbecue soup place. I was trying to see pictures and see if there are menus on there, and I could then you kind of go in knowing what you want, or you have seeing, what time do they open? Is it like 5 p.m. or are they gonna do lunch? And I couldn't find them anywhere, not Facebook, Google, nothing. But maybe because they're so brand new, but. So in the video, I was gonna say it's, come get your tuk-tuk to the deck and then you just walk across the road right there. But let's go here. This is where I had a solo show like a month ago or so. I think I have to go over there. Okay, they're coming. Hey. So they do breakfast here. It's a really nice day. It's almost too hot. If you're just tuning in, I was gonna go to that restaurant right there and it's shut. So we're at the deck. It's like a restaurant bar across the street. They do live music here too. Hang on, I got a phone holder. There we go. It's a lot of like more like Western style food. I can show you here. Chicken parm and ribs, fish and chips. Those two are really good. The schnitzel, I had that a couple days ago here. The nachos is really good too. I'll probably get nachos. She's like standing right beside me waiting. And it's like, give me some time. Then there's like appetizers too here. And hey, if you have questions about living in Cambodia or moving here, teaching, getting a job, getting your TEFL, I can help you answer all that. That's what I'm here for. I've got links in the description too to the TEFL course that I took if you want to do the same one I did. Government accredited. They help you get your first job. It's in the country, 4-week program. It's very reputable, so you can go check out their website and see what they offer, and just mention me if you sign up for any of them. There's also a link in there if you want to be a member of Tom Trips Out. I have a members area on YouTube where there's extra videos, probably like 4 times a week. I put extra stuff up that only the members can see, or they get a sneak peek, or they get behind the scenes. So if you're interested in that, it's only $4.99, and there's like over 150 videos already sitting there. So I always recommend just signing up for 1 month, and then you could just binge it all and quit after 1 month. Look, they got burgers too. And yes, if you sign up to be a member, you don't have to stay for months and months and months. You can do 1 month and just binge, and it helps support the channel, and you get access to a whole bunch of extra content. Can I get the nachos? Nachos?
Okay, 1 nachos.
And Coke?
1 Coke?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. I got the nachos. I know it's not that exciting, but it's really good here. I've had it before. Oh, got some questions here. Hold on, let me, you don't want to look at my face. Okay. Tom, can you rate the overall quality of food in Cambodia compared to Canadian standards? Well, you don't want to, Canada's also bad. Like anywhere in North America, well, especially like USA is even worse, but the food system over there is really bad. Like it's just everything's fake, and obviously there's organic available, and you could go to farms and buy it directly. Like that's what. But if you're just buying the general food, like everyone buys instant food and processed food and stuff like that. Thank you. But what would be a better question is comparing it to like the rest of the countries around me now, like Vietnam, Thailand. And there's obviously really good restaurants here. If you want to pay a lot, you could have an amazing dinner. But just the everyday food you just get every day, middle of the road, that anyone like you or I would be having every day. Cambodia is probably the worst, to be honest. It's not that good food here. But you know, you find the places that are doing it well. There's not like no good food, but just, I think overall, like in general, because you don't realize it's still fresh ingredients. That's why it's better than Canada still. You're not getting chemicals or like, it's just sometimes very like, if you're getting street food and you're only paying $1, it's like, could be really very instant noodles with just powder on it, and it's very cheap kind of stuff. But you go to Thailand and it's like just as cheap, but it's like the most amazing. They just, for some reason in Thailand, it's just 10 million times better. Any food, you can get the exact same dish like here or there. But again, that's an unfair generalization. I'm sure there's a handful of amazing restaurants like in Phnom Penh as well. I know a few. But I just mean like in general, the beef here really sucks. It's just like the ingredients are subpar, all the ingredients, and then sometimes the people slapping it together don't know what they're doing really either. And so, but there's some really amazing Cambodian dishes if done properly. Obviously, if they use quality ingredients, that's basically what it is. Or a lot of it, they're making like instant food, and they'll zhuzh it up by adding in. So they'll take just an instant ramen package, and then they throw in some real bok choy and a meatball and like some crab stick, and then they call that their noodle dish. But it's just made from instant ramen and the powder sachet. You know, like it's not actually anything getting cooked at all. Then sometimes, like, it's quite common actually, expats come here and start businesses and open bars. Like this one I'm in right now I think it's owned by an Australian and a UK guy, or maybe even more than 2 people. And there's some Turkish restaurants down the street, there's a Greek restaurant, there's, you know, so those are amazing too, like this. But then those prices will be more like $6 or $7. Thank you. Even like the meal I'm getting right now is $6 or $6.50 probably. Yeah, way deep inside says, do they serve ox or water buffalo there? I think so. They eat everything in Asia. You can get like snakes and turtles, and like just down the street I could go grab a turtle that's walking around in water in a plastic container and take it home and eat it. I never tried turtle. I tried frogs. Frogs are really good. Cost of living's really cheap. I want to get a lot of info in the beginning in case people watch and then they fade away. In Cambodia, apartments can be as cheap as like $200, or they go lower than that, but you wouldn't want those type of apartments. Like, there's some that just look like a storage room with a sink in it, for maybe 75. Like, you can't live in that. It's like, but you could, for 200, you could find a totally acceptable apartment. So between 200 and 400, depending how nice you want. And then meals here, I can get by eating out for every meal and stay within $10 usually if you're really smart about it and you use the apps. Like right now, this doesn't really count as being that strategic. Like I'm spending $6 on one nachos, but I'm doing it for you guys for the video. Israel. Tom, can you share what the most shocking experience you've had since living in the kingdom? I'll answer that first, but I'm just going to read Matto here. Matto says, good day from Snookyville. Finding good food that you like can take time. From street vendors to restaurants, very hit and miss. Yeah, exactly. And then if you find someone who really takes pride in what they're doing, and it doesn't have to be a fancy shop, but they really try hard and they're making it fresh and they really care about doing a good job and stuff, then you keep going back to those people and support them. Israel. That's tough. What's the most shocking? Here's one you could actually check out. If you go to my Instagram, Tom Trips Out, there's one of the highlights above highlight stories. It says rain encounters. You cycle through to like the 5th or 6th one. And there's one time where I'm in a tuk-tuk driving through a flood, and the water level started to get so deep that we're driving forward and it's getting deeper and deeper that you can imagine a tuk-tuk is raised off the ground, like the tires and the floor of the tuk-tuk, and I'm sitting there, and the water had risen so high that it was up to just below my knees, like in the tuk-tuk, over the floor of the tuk-tuk, and we're still, and I'm taking my phone out and I filmed a little short thing of it. It's in the rain encounters highlight. That's the most shocking, I guess, and I guess seeing turtles, when you go through the local market and they have turtles that are cooked already, they're like upside down. This sounds so bizarre. They'll be sitting there upside down in like piles, cooked barbecued turtles, and they're totally whole, intact, and sticking out of every joint, like where an arm or leg would come out, here, or here. Between the seam, like in the fold, little yellow balls come sticking out. It must be, that's the type of meat that's inside, and when they cook it, so you'll see an upside down turtle with like a million little yellow balls sticking out of any opening. And I don't know what you do. Do you grab that and eat those, or I don't know. And those are pretty shocking. Like you kind of walk around, oh, what do they have, and what do they have? And in that market too, they also had just chunks of beehive, like honeycomb, actual from a beehive, and they grill it and put onion on it and stuff, and that's sitting there beside the turtles. And that made me go, what the, like, a turtle with like yellow, looked like alien balls coming out of its armpits. Like, that was kind of shocking. That's a tough question because you start to get desensitized when you live here too. So like, you see something crazy and you kind of hit your friend, oh my God, and then the vibe is like, well, that's Cambodia, like, and then that happens pretty quickly, and so you get really, probably Matto would agree that you get kind of, it's harder and harder to surprise you the longer you've been here and seen stuff happening. So you guys want to know, well, I know I have a lot of regulars in here, so you don't want to hear about that, but in case people watch this later, I should maybe talk about teaching and moving here. There's always a demand for teachers, especially in Phnom Penh, because it's developing and growing. Schools or new campuses are opening, schools are opening, especially more away from the city center, like more towards the southern edge of the city. And also that's where there's a new airport coming that's going to be 30 kilometers like south of the city. They're going to shut the airport they have now and open another one in like 2 months. And that's more in that direction, so I think that'll start to get more developed there, and then there'll be even more schools opening. And on top of that, teachers have a fast expiry date. Like teachers there's constant turnover. Not everybody, but like, a good percentage of the teachers are constantly, they just do it for 1 year and then they try a different country, or they go back home, or maybe they leverage their experience now and find a higher paying teaching job, or they move to a different city, or they get promoted to a different position. So there's like all those openings being created. So you never have to worry about coming here and there's no jobs available, like especially if you're a native English speaker. Canada, UK, America, Australia, South Africa, a lot. There's so many South African teachers here, but they're often, they don't consider you native English speakers, even though you spoke English your whole life. They go by your passport, sort of. So if it says South Africa, that's not on the list of native English speaking. Oh wow, thank you. And because of that, it's possible that they could offer you a lower salary. And it's not only possible, it's quite common, but it's not for sure. Like, what if you go in the interview and you do an amazing job and they like you and they just give you the same offer as a American or Canadian person? Could happen, but they want to save money too, right? So they could say, yeah, I know, but for our non-native speakers, this is what we offer. Like, so you might get offered a tiny bit less. Wow, there's even hot sauce on it. Cheese, sour cream, there's like taco beef, jalapenos, guacamole. chopped tomatoes, onion. Maybe I already said onion. Hold on, I have another phone holder I brought, and maybe you can get a higher perspective here. Back in the day, I used to do my whole channel off just my phone. Now I have a camera when I do real videos. That's the other thing, guys, I do real videos. I know a lot of you already know me, but if you're new, this is just a live stream you're watching right now. I make proper videos too with a camera and editing and music and all that, and real topics and informative. And so go check out my playlists, and if you want to know stuff about finding an apartment here, finding a job, restaurants, hotels, the different cities. And so I have this gadget from when I used to use my phone. Let's see if I can get it in here. Now it's a bit higher up. There. Trying not to get other people in the world in it. Oh, that's good. You don't have to see my whole face anyways. Nice food. We're having roasted squid and prawns on Otres Beach. If you want to see what Matt was talking about, I have a video that I made called, I forget what it's called, like 4 beaches in 10 minutes. It's called something like that. Or Cambodia beaches. And I show like 5 beaches. Tyrone. You alright? I'm having nachos at the deck. I was going to go to, my whole plan, the title of this was Soup and Barbecue. I have to change it after. I was going to go there. But check out the front door. This is a new restaurant that opened up across from the deck. And they don't have any advertising. They're not even on Google. I was trying to read about them or see pictures of the menu ahead of time, and I zoomed in on the map. It doesn't even show there's anything there. They're very new, but still. So I thought, okay, I'll help them out and make a video, and it'll be a fun lunch or whatever, and they're not even open. And then it's really hot right now. It's noon. So I don't want to go stumbling around in the direct sun looking for... So I'm like, okay, we're going to the deck. Yeah, the deck does decent scran, Tyrone says. I'm gonna tuck in. Isn't that what they say? Matto says must have opened last week. I think it might be more than a week, but not much more. Maybe 3 weeks. But I think it even looks more developed than last week. Like I think they kind of were doing a soft open, and they're not even finished really decorating and building it yet. Because every time I look, there's more additions. Now there's a big sign, and then it's looking nicer and nicer. But I think maybe once the kitchen was open, they started allowing people to buy stuff. Got 15 people here. Hey, what do you want me to talk about? I got all my regulars just saying hello. Here we go. Philip Allen, awesome question. Is there 90-day reporting in Cambodia? No, there's not. What Philip is talking about, was it Philip? Yeah, what Philip's talking about, I believe, right? Philip is in Thailand. Hold on, let me erase this. In Thailand, oops. There. In Thailand, you have to report where you're living. I've never done this, so maybe I'm saying it wrong, Philip. But in Thailand, as an expat working there, you have to, every 90 days, you have to report where you're living and probably prove that you still have that job, and like you have to do the reporting all the time. It's really, I've heard it's really annoying and like a pain in the ass and like a hassle. Cambodia, you don't do that. You just renew every year. And you can buy a 6-month or a 12-month, and you just, when it's like 2 weeks before it runs out, you go renew it. Another reason why Cambodia is better. Also, Philip, and everyone out there, you do not need a degree to to work in Cambodia. I was a high school teacher for 2 years, and I don't have a degree. You just need a TEFL, and it helps to have a really strong, good TEFL, because then you'll actually do a good job and know what you're doing and be confident in the interview. And I have a link below to one that I did. It's government accredited. They actually send you to real schools during the course, and you go in front of a real classroom as practice. So that when you're in interviews, you can actually say, well, you know what? I tried that last week I was doing a kindergarten demo, and this kid was speaking up, and here's how I dealt with it. And so you'll have real experience to speak on. And on top of that, once it's completed, they like help support you in finding your first job. They help get you job interviews, and sometimes people find their own job because there's so many schools looking. You send out your resume, and then AVSE will also send out your resume for you. Maybe the schools might get your resume, then they call AVSE and say, hey, like, how is this person really? And they'll have your back, you know, and then so it helps to have AVSE on your side. Matto says Thai visas are getting ridiculous. It's better in Cambodia. Yeah, there's no reporting. Also in Cambodia, it might not be something to brag about, but when you're going to go get a visa or renew, especially renewing, it's harder to do this on your first visa. But once you've already been here for a year and you go to renew, if you're missing any documents or you don't have the right forms, often at these visa places, if you pay an extra like $40, done. Doesn't matter. Like, so even if you don't have the proper requirements and the right forms, that you just pay a little bit more and you get it. Wadul teaching, sorry if I say that wrong. 15 years in Thailand, I'm sick of it. It's a new thing for ED visa, even with a re-entry, you must pay immigration now. Oh, you have to pay to come back, like if you go on a vacation and re-enter or something? Yeah, Cambodia visas are straightforward. You just pay and that's it. Show the forms. And as I said too often, it sounds shady, but if you're in a visa center, if one of your forms is incorrect or you're missing one, you just pay a penalty and they get it done anyway. It's like $30, $40 usually. But I think that's not really above board. It's kind of, but everything's like that in Cambodia. And there's no reporting, I already said that. You don't need any degree. I don't see how a degree would help somebody be a teacher unless it's a teaching degree. So imagine you have some, like the type of people that say, oh, that's those poor children, they should have someone with a degree because they're probably having a bad teacher now. Like, so imagine you find like a bad teacher that just is lazy and doesn't care about the kids and doesn't do anything. And he's like 30 years old or something. And he doesn't have a degree. And then you go take that guy and go back in time or you have just that same guy, but he has a degree. Does that change him as a person? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like that type of asshole is going to be a lazy asshole whether they had a degree or not. You know what I mean? Or they're going to not give a shit about their job whether they have a degree or not. So I don't see how like that accreditation makes somebody like a person that doesn't care about their job. Wadul says ED visa is $1,500 at the moment. How long does that last? 1 year? Wadul's talking about Thailand. I'm just saying that for everybody else. I don't know what ED means. Oh yeah, 1 year, that's so much. In Cambodia, it's $290 for a year. 290. What? Are you a student? You think that would be the cheapest one? That they should help students out. He's saying it's an education visa. That's why I'm asking. Like, does that mean you're a teacher, or does that mean you're taking a university course? Wow. Yeah, to be a student. That's like they're trying to discourage you from doing it almost. Like, why would they? I'm getting a bunch of notifications. It's chopping up my thing. 170? No, it's not, Matto. For a year? I thought it's 290. Oh, Matto, are you talking about an education one? I'm talking about a working one. In Cambodia, it's called EB. B is in Bumblebee. For business. And I always thought it was 290. And that's even if you have all the right forms and everything. Matto knows his stuff though. I would trust you. Yeah. Very experienced, knows what's going on. So he's saying it's that cheap if you don't use any visa agent or any center. I guess you'd have to go to the airport or go to the immigration place yourself and go in line and everything. How much for the Monger visa? I don't know what that means. Well, you know, Matto, people aren't going to do that, to be honest. I guess some will, but... You know what happens often, too? Like, young people coming here to be a teacher that are watching, and they're going to... Then you get your first job. Then the school helps you get a bank account, because you need to bring a letter to the bank that you work, so they can do direct deposit. And then they'll send you to get a work permit and change your visa into a working visa. And then you bring the receipt back to your school and they end up paying for half of it. But the school will send you to a visa agent that they always use. So sometimes you won't get a choice of where you won't get a choice to go do it yourself. Your school will say, take this letter and go to that office and blah blah blah, and then like you pay for it yourself, and then you come directly back to the school and say, okay, I'm done, here's the receipt. And you know, they pay a huge portion of it. I think it's more than half even. I think I paid $90 and they had to pay the 200, like my school paid 200 towards it or something like that. So sometimes the place where you get your job, they kind of they guide your hand through all those documents, and then because they're paying for half of it, so then you just kind of go along with it till it's done. Hey Tom, I'm almost done with my PGCE. I don't know what that is. Is there any good international school in Phnom Penh or Siem Reap? Well, there's like hundreds in Phnom Penh. Oh. Probably the best one in Cambodia, that they pay about double most other schools, but you have to have a degree. Like I just finished saying, in Cambodia you don't need a degree, but there's one or two schools that are very high end that charge a lot of money for tuition, and they pay their teachers like double. So it's a school called ACE, like ACE. it stands for something, ACE. And I think you apply by going to their website, but you have to. I tried to apply because I have friends there, and they make over $2,000 a month, which is unheard of here. So you could try there. And then alternatively, the one I worked for was called Western International, and they have like 5 campuses, I think, or more in the city. I think there's another good one called Golden Gate, and it's like American. But there's literally like hundreds of schools, so. It's hard for me to name them all. You can go on Google Maps and kind of zoom into like an area where you think, yeah, somewhere around here, and then search for schools, and all the pins will pop up. Yeah, Mado says if you have a degree and teaching experience, people will want you. And then especially if you're a native speaker, or you sound like one. Like, I was talking to a guy at the bar yesterday who's like Slovakian, and he's got a thick Eastern European accent, like, and he's an English teacher here. Like, he's good at English. You can totally talk to him, totally fluent, but just a heavy accent. Like, yeah. Like, I don't know. What if I said, yeah, for sure they'll hire you? What do I know? Like, I'm not the one at the school, right? That sounds very good. I'll tell you this. Many people are hired every day that have nothing. Nothing. They're just from America or Canada. Or they have and you have to have a TEFL. So they have a 4-week certificate. You got the job. No experience, no degree. That's like me. In Canada, I was a branch manager at Enterprise Rent-A-Car in my old life. Like, never been to this side of the world, never taught anybody, never went to university or college. I played in bands growing up, and so I was trying to make it famous in a band instead of go to school, like, instead of university. And then I started working at this car rental company, and then I ended up just staying at that company, and I worked my way all the way up to becoming a manager. Then COVID happened and I lost my job, so I got this big severance. I had been there for 13 years, the rental place. I got a big severance. I just moved to Asia, did the AVSE course. They taught me everything I need to know, and then they helped me get job interviews, and I got this one at Western International. I was getting $1,300 a month from them. And here, your whole monthly budget of everything would add up to like $800 or $900 probably, all your costs. But obviously it depends how you spend, and when you go out, how much do you throw money around. Like, because imagine even just a $5 difference per day, $5 more every day is like $150 difference on your month. Like, so small changes can make a big difference in the month. And this program I talk about, there's links in the description. They have little side programs too. There's one that's a 9-day program. It's called Teaching Jobs Abroad, and it's for people that they already have a certificate. Maybe you did it online or you did it in your home country, but it's for people that they want some help navigating the job market and getting some practice in front of real students, like in this side of the world, because people classes are run differently here compared to America, and the culture is a little bit different and things like that, and just getting used to it. So it's called Teaching Jobs Abroad. It's 9 days, and it includes accommodation for the 9 days. They put you in a hotel for that one. And you do like a lesson planning workshop, they show you around, and then they take you to schools, and you sit at the back of the room and you observe a teacher for an hour, like doing the class. And you do this like 6 or 7 times. And each time it's like a different type of school and a different age level, maybe kindergarten, and then one day adults, and one day grade 5s, and then at a public school, at an international school, at a, like, you get to see different types of age levels and different schools. And you make notes on what you observed about the teacher based on what you had just learned in the course, kind of. Oh, I noticed she was using this technique and that, and then she was managing the classroom this way and stuff. And then you go back to those same places, and they've given you some material ahead of time, and you try making your first lesson plan, and you take over their class for an hour just as practice. And the real teacher sits at the back and watches you this time. And you try out your first lesson plan in front of real kids, and again you do that 6 or 7 times and all that. And then coming out of that, you'll start getting emails saying, hey, we want to meet, we got your resume from AVSE, we want to arrange an interview. So they'll help you get interviews, and there's nothing stopping you from sending your CV out as well to as many as you can find. And then they'll support you in your job search too. So if one of those schools, they'll see AVSE on your resume, and then they'll call AVSE and say, hey, how about this person? We're looking at them. Do you think they'd be good? Oh yeah, they would be very good for that position, and they'll have your back for that. And that one's like half the cost of the full course, because you've already done the certificate. It's just the practical part, going in front of a real class, observing and stuff like that. So like that one's just called Teaching Jobs Abroad, and it's much cheaper and much shorter. So if you already have a certificate, or maybe you don't have one yet, but you could plan it that way. Oh, I'll get the certificate in my home country, and then I'll just come there and do the 9-day program Tom talked about, and then I'll have the job. Because sometimes you can do a TEFL like in a community center or at a university close by, like where you live, you know what I mean, in your hometown. Some colleges will offer it, or as long as it's not a bogus one. There's some out there too that are like $10 and you don't do anything. Like, it has to be an actual legitimate one. And then you'd be accepted to this program. It's supposed to rain really bad today. Give you guys a different view for a sec. I have a lot of gigs coming up. This Friday in Phnom Penh, and then Saturday we go to Kampot and we're playing that night. And then we play, so I have Friday, Saturday, and then like Monday and Wednesday. Like, there's something, I forget, we're doing like 1 right before we go to Kampot, then 3 in Kampot. Then when we come back, it'll be like the Friday of the next week, where we'll be back by then. And there's another one in town here on that Friday. And then the Friday after that too. So I have, in May, I have like, and I already did one on a boat this month. So what is that? 5, 6, 7. 7 shows in May. That's unbelievable. That's almost like $300. We get paid when we play, right? that reminds me, if you want to help support the channel, there's always super thanks or donations available too. But what I always recommend is if you want to support, I have a members section here. It's $4.99. Just sign up for 1 month and quit. And that's a way to donate a small amount, but you actually get access then to, like, there's over 150 videos in the members area. You can see what I'm eating and behind the scenes and sneak peeks. I used to go for a walk every morning and I would go live for members. So it's like lots of extra content you could binge there, you know, as opposed to just sending me $4 and nothing happens. Like, you know, it's smarter for you to, if you wanted to donate, to just become a member just for 1 month, and then you actually get something back out of it then. And there's more coming, right? Like this weekend I'm going to Kampot, as I said, and there'll be lots of exclusive members stuff while I'm on my adventure or whatever. Matto said it belted down rain in Koh Rong the last few days. Koh Rong are some islands just off the southern coast of Cambodia. I'm gonna make videos there soon because they have a new speedboat that goes from Kampot to the Koh Rong Islands. I'm gonna make a video all about the how to do the boats and all that stuff from Kampot. It used to be you had to go from Sihanoukville. Now you can also go from Kampot. Kind of over these nachos now. Well, I guess I should end it soon. I feel like it's getting like that part in a conversation where you're like, well, nice talking to you. I don't know what else to talk about now. Well, Matto was just talking about the rain. There was a news release saying, like, a warning for Phnom Penh that today, tomorrow, and the next day, like, watch out for rain. And I looked in the weather app when I saw that. It's supposed to come today around 3 or 4, and then again at like 7 till 9. Like, I think it's supposed to be worse later. Like 7 till 9 will be heavy. So what I was thinking of doing, I just got a new umbrella actually. I got an umbrella with you get cell phone points all throughout the year every time you renew your plan, and if you get enough, you can redeem for like a little gift. And so I got a little umbrella that has the Smart Mobile logo on it. But if it starts pouring rain, I could come outside and do a live stream just for the members only to see how crazy the rainstorm is and go right in the thick of it. So my phone can get a little bit wet. Matto says, Kampot to Koh Rong by speedboat. Awesome, I'm in. Yeah, but it's like 2 hours instead of just 45 minutes. It's like 2 hours, but I haven't done it yet, but I'm planning to. So yeah, it's supposed to rain crazy today and tomorrow and maybe even the next day. And even this neighborhood this is like a really good neighborhood, but it still floods, but it goes away very fast. But it's like just while it's happening, like while it's still raining, and even after it stops, it's maybe for another half an hour or 40 minutes. That's how long it takes to go away. But other parts of the city, it can take a whole day and a half before the flood goes away. But you think, oh, I'm in a nice part of town, it doesn't flood here. It still does. Like the rain comes fast enough that it can't. It floods a little bit, but right here it goes away very fast. I did a short the other day out my window showing the floods and all that. Like that one, if you just looked about an hour later, it was dry. Like, we'll definitely check that out. What name can you remember for the boat? I forget. There's only one company doing it. I think it might be AVSE or whatever it's called, BUVA. But I was Googling, looking into it because I was going to plan a trip for the speedboat. What you should do is look up, because the port now is that brand new, what's it called? The International Tourist Port in Kampot. They built a whole thing. It looks like an airport on the side of the water, like because it's for boats, not for planes. But the shape of the whole building and everything looks like JFK Airport or something. And so, to Kampot International Tourist Port to Koh Rong or something. Google that. I think it's BUVA, BUVA is the boat company. They're like letting one company do it now, I think. Maybe there's more companies, and that's the only one I could find like advertising. Maybe there's more there. I don't know. We'll see when I go make a video. But when I looked it up, I could only find one company doing it. And it looked like they only go once a day from there, 8 a.m., and that's it. You can imagine it's so brand new, and this is low season now, and it's a giant boat. They can't start sending them every hour and they're empty, you know what I mean? So they just do one a day. Baghead, you're moving to Kampot? Yeah, I'm moving in about exactly a month. I'll be there already. I haven't exactly picked a place, so I don't know my move-in date, but first week of June. So like basically, and here's my plan too. It's kind of interesting. If I don't find a place, like right now, I'm going next weekend with the band, and I can look at places. And if I found one, I could like sign and pay the deposit, and then come back like 10 days later to actually move in. But if I don't find a place, what am I going to do, right? And there's lots of resorts and bungalows in town where it's a very small bungalow, like you open the door and it's just a bedroom and that's it. And they might have a pool and lots of grounds and everything, but I was thinking I could get one of those places just for 1 month, like my first month. And that way when listings pop up, I can actually just go see them right away instead of I'm seeing listings online pop up here, and then I have to make a plan to do a trip to Kampot so that I can see this house that I might not even want. And then they end up getting taken before I can even get down there, kind of thing. And these resorts are saying like 180 or 200 for a month. And that includes, right, you don't pay electricity for that too, right? You're in a hotel, so that includes hydro, all the utility bills. And so there's one, I really like the location, is almost right in town. It's right by that seahorse that sprays the water out. And they have a pool, it looks pretty modern. It's just, I wouldn't want that to be my permanent place because it's like just a big bedroom and that's it. There's no living room, there's no like, and I want more privacy than that kind of thing. But it could be a great little launch pad to stay for the first month and then every time a posting comes up, I could be like, hey, I'll meet you this afternoon, I'll come see it. Like, so stay in a little resort bungalow while I find and search for my perfect place. So that might happen if I don't find a place and if I do that, I'll move in June 10th, which is like a month from yesterday. So that was a long ramble, but I'm basically going in exactly a month. There's some great restaurants there. Looking forward to some videos. Yeah, imagine the videos. If you guys don't know, Google Kampot and go to images and just look around. Mountains, caves, waterfalls, beaches. There's like chili pepper farms, salt fields. Then there's this little town called Kep, just like a half hour away, and they have a beach and restaurants and cool places to go. It's much quieter there. It's starting to grow. They have that boat to Koh Rong. There's new venues opening. There's lots of live music too. There's a lot more tourism coming through there. It's like not a dying city. It's growing and bubbling up and developing. One downside some people are saying though is there's a lot of new bars opening, and they'll have those the bar girls are sitting there, and, oh, Mister, and it used to be in Kampot you would never have that. It was more family kind of thing. And now very conservative people, they might walk down a street and think, oh, this is turning into a red light district here or something, but it's not really. You just see a bar with a bunch of like attractive girls sitting at the front of it. And there's like more and more of those opening in Kampot, but you know, if you don't like that, then don't go there. Don't go to that bar then, whatever. Pepper farms make a good video. Yeah, and in Kep there's a crab market. I have videos. I went to Kep, but it's like 2 years ago. I was probably using my phone back then. Yeah, back it says there are loads of those bars now. Yeah, I know. Over Christmas I was in Kampot, and I had been there before, but like this past Christmas we were there with the band, and just that time I really fell in love with it. And since then I've been wanting to live there, so I've gone back probably 3 times since Christmas. So we're at Christmas, and then between Christmas and now I've already been back to Kampot like 3 times, and I've been seeing them, all those bars open, and handsome man. They catcall you as you walk by and stuff. So yeah, if you want to help out my channel, another thing you can do is go look at my latest videos and, you know, press like or subscribe, or, you know, at least subscribe for free. It's free to subscribe. Go find one of my playlists and just leave it on play or something. Help me spread the word. Or if you know anybody that wants to be a teacher, be like, hey, this guy's showing info about that. So I'm probably going to end it off here. I feel like, you know, the conversation's winding down. If you have something you want to ask, or you want me to talk about for 5 minutes, you have 20 seconds to ask it right now. And then we're going to end her off here. But you don't have to wait a month to get some Kampot content, because as I said, I'm going this next weekend with my band. So I'll probably, even if some listings pop up that I know I don't want to live there, but the guy says, do you want to come look at it today? I will go look at it, and just to make videos, you know what I mean, for you guys. Then you can see what houses in Kampot look like. And even if it's one, like we're looking at the pictures, you know, nah, it doesn't even have this, I don't want to live there. If I have nothing to do all day, I'll just go look at it anyway with the guy. I know it kind of wastes his time, but it doesn't hurt to start looking at some, and then you get used to, like, you can compare and stuff like that. Even so, this weekend I'll go look at some houses, even if I'm not gonna choose those ones specifically. I'll go look at some and make videos about viewing some houses in the countryside of Kampot. That'll be good. And we're staying in a different place this time. The last 2-3 times we went, we kept going to Funky Moon. We're going to another one called Champa Village, and it's got a swimming pool, and we have our own little bungalows. It's going to be, that'll be a video. Yeah, and then I do a lot of shorts on these trips, because often there's no real main topic to talk about, but we're just we're on a quick little adventure, and I get a series of little 10-second clips, or even 3-second clips, like of what we did that afternoon, and, you know, and you put it all together and put a cool song with it. Like I do a lot of those when I'm on these little trips, because unless I can offer some kind of information or show something really cool, there's no point in making a 10-minute video that's like stupid or garbage or something. And a lot of places are playing music, and you can't have music in a video, so it makes it tough. Yeah, Mano says it depends what you want. There's many places that are awesome. I know the good ones go fast too. There was one I was in love with and it got taken. Then I saw one today where from the outside the house looks amazing, but it's almost like instead of a living room, it's just 2 bedrooms and a kitchen, and that's it. Like you open the door, there's 2 doors from the outside. One goes into one of the bedrooms, one goes into like a kitchen, and in that kitchen there's a door to a second bedroom, and that's it. And then outside there's a big, it's almost like the living room is the outside terrace. And I'm like, where are you supposed to like live all day? And both bedrooms are pretty small too. So you come out of your sleeping quarters and it's just a kitchen and outside. There's no, I need to work from home. What if I have people over and it's raining? Yeah, let's come sit inside. There's like, well, here's my bedroom. And it's $250, which is like the ceiling of, I want to stay 200 or under, except if I really love it, it's a dream place, I'll go to 250. And this place is 250 and not really a dream. Like, I said to the guy, you would have to take out a bed from one of those rooms, and then I could transform that into like a living room / office or something. But even then, I'm looking at the picture and I could tell it's kind of tiny. I don't know. I just thought this isn't the right one. But the outside looks so nice. It had mango tree, coconut trees, and one other type. Forget the other. They had like fruit trees. Maybe it was durian. So they're popping up, but the timing might not be right. So like as I said, if I don't find anything by like the first few days after June, like June 1st, June 3rd or something, I'm like, okay, it's getting, because then I'll call that resort and say, okay, give me 1 month at your resort for 200, and then I'll be there on ground zero, you know, for that month. And then when new listings pop up, I could say, yes, I'll come see it today. You know, I don't have to like plan a trip for 3 days from now, and it'll just be annoying to have all my stuff, and I'll hire an SUV to drive me there with all my stuff, and then I'll have to load it into this little bungalow on a resort. I don't have that much stuff anyway. I'll try to get rid of as much as I can. All right. Well, it was good hanging with you guys. You could watch the game here. Remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.